All right, welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning, episode 271. First game of this wildcard weekend. Colts at Buffalo. Buffalo comes away with a 3-point win. Jay, what'd you see today?
Really, I think a lot of us expected a Buffalo Bills win, but did we expect a Buffalo Bills Indianapolis Colts nail-biter? I did not. I don't think many people do. Philip Rivers, actually, I have to say, played better than I thought. Philip Rivers, we know in the playoffs and any big game of his career, does not live up to it. He's a choker. He's not clutch. That's just what he is. I think he's a great quarterback, and he's very well-rounded. But when you need him, he isn't there. However, today, he did actually play for the Colts and did what they needed. It just kind of an unfortunate event. A couple bad coaching calls, in my opinion, a couple bad defensive plays. Philip Rivers did his job. What did he finish with? 309 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Josh Allen had 324 yards, 2 touchdowns, while Josh Allen ran the ball a lot better than Philip Rivers. That's very expected. Josh Allen's a very mobile quarterback. However, through the air, Philip Rivers went toe-to-toe with Josh Allen and did his job. And I think the Colts offense could have done – they played the best football they could have really offensively.
Yeah, you mentioned the bad coaching. There was definitely a couple plays in here that could have gone differently. For example, their last possession before halftime, they decided to go for the 4th down. I think that you kick that field goal, they're going to overtime right now. I think that could have been different. Or if Philip Rivers had just slightly underthrown that ball just a little bit more, could have been a touchdown that would have completely shifted the momentum. I doubt the Bills would have scored after that. But even in the ending of the game, there were some really positives that we saw from the Colts. Their defense gave Allen a hell of a time. He was always scrambling out of the pocket. I think they had a 23-yard sack on him. Yeah. That was big for them. The Colts didn't look bad. I thought that this game was going to be at least a 1-touchdown game for the Bills. Colts, I think, surprised a lot of people. But there was also some things that they could have done better that would have changed the outcome of this game.
Yeah, I wasn't super impressed with either team, but I guess both teams look solid. I honestly expected the Bills to come out and win this game by 2 scores. The way they were playing coming into this game, the Bills they were way hotter. They were the hottest team in the league. And the Colts were just not that good, not as good. But Josh Allen really ran the offense today. He had, 50-something rush yards, 54 rush yards, 308 pass yards. Really, the entire offensive production was him and Stefon Diggs, which is, that's one of the best duos, if not the best in the league. So they look good, but I expected more than 27 points out of them today. Their running game was obviously relatively non-existent. And then Philip Rivers, of course, he actually did kind of impress me today, almost as many pass yards as Allen did. Obviously, kind of a one-dimensional offense with him. He doesn't run the football. But I think the difference in the game was the coaching call, like Wade mentioned, at the half, where the Colts had the chance to kick the field goal and didn't. That ultimately cost them the game. Obviously, they could have put up 3. They lost by 3. And then, of course, the missed field goal, which was, 38 yards? 33. 33. It was short field goal, Blankenship misses. So that's big. But I'm kind of disappointed in Indianapolis because they had a chance to beat a team that I could see going to the Super Bowl. And they were given the chance with that, I don't know if we've even touched on it yet, that bad call. It was a straight-up bad call inside a minute in the 4th quarter with Pascal being ruled down on the field, and the call stood. I think he fumbled.
It's very clear.
It was pretty clear to me that he actually fumbled. He wasn't down. But the Colts were given that chance, and they didn't do anything with it. So I'm kind of disappointed in Indianapolis.
Yeah, overall, it's just a weird game to really look at the future for both teams. We don't know if Philip Rivers is going to retire, and even if he doesn't, will the Colts want him back?
He's on 1 year.
Yeah, so exactly. So if he doesn't retire, will they even want him back? However, they do have the running game to look forward to with the future in Jonathan Taylor and Nyheim Hines. That's in great hands. Defense is in great hands. And really look at the Bills' future. Like Carson said, this is the hottest team in the NFL, and they didn't look like it today. So you can defend them in the fact that, they're the hottest team in the NFL, but they played a top 5 defense in the NFL, and they still won. Maybe they didn't dominate, but they still came out with a win. So maybe going against the Steelers, who have a great defense but is a little banged up, they'll play better. Or against the Chiefs, might not be able to stand with them offensively, but they could take down the Chiefs' defense better than they did the Colts' defense. So that is a positive to look to. However, there are a couple plays that the Colts' defense could have been even better. We saw Josh Allen throw a almost pick. He almost threw an interception in the end zone. Guy lost possession right at the end.
Would have been a great catch. It wasn't a gimme play, but that could have.
I think Allen ended up scoring 3 plays later, right?
Play or two, he
but that could have changed the shift and made Allen look worse. The Colts look better, and really the 23-yard sack that Wade mentioned, that was almost a fumble as well. So just 1 or 2 more turnovers. This could have been an ugly game, and the Bills go home and continue their 25-year drought. This is a big win for the Bills, but I don't think they should just look at this win and not really just assume that they did everything right. There's a lot to work on still if they want to take down the Kansas City Chiefs and meet whoever in the Super Bowl.
You touched on this earlier. I think that both these teams do have really bright futures. The Colts defense looks amazing. They got the young running back with Jonathan Taylor. I think they're really one quarterback away from making serious playoff push in Josh Allen. And we touched on this in a video earlier today, I believe, that the Bills have a great future with Josh Allen and Stefon Diggs. So I can't wait to see what the future has in store for both of these teams. For the Colts, it's going to be next year. And for the Bills, hopefully they can make a deep playoff push. I would like to see them end up in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, all good points. Bottom line is Bills win the football game, they move on. At this point in the season, it's just going 1-0 every week is the goal because it doesn't matter what happened. And again, disappointed in the Colts a little bit, and who knows what their team is going to go to after this because of the quarterback situation. But as Wade says, their defense is good. Their running game is very strong. So bottom line is Bills win, and they're moving on. 2-1.
2 minutes.